Minnesota, often called the land of 10,000 lakes, is a state defined by its natural beauty, diverse ecosystems, and vibrant cultural heritage. Located in the upper Midwest of the United States, Minnesota is bordered by Canada to the north, Lake Superior and Wisconsin to the east, Iowa to the south, and the Dakotas to the west. Its geography, climate, and waterways have shaped its history, economy, and identity, making it one of the most distinctive regions in the country. The most striking feature of Minnesota is its abundance of lakes and rivers. With over 11,000 lakes and countless streams, ponds, and wetlands, water defines the landscape. The largest, Lake Superior, forms part of the state's northeastern border and is the largest freshwater lake by surface area in the world. Its deep, cold waters and rugged shoreline provide critical habitat for fish, birds, and wildlife, while also serving as a source of recreation and commerce. Other notable lakes, such as Mill Lacs, Leech Lake, and Lake of the Woods, offer fishing, boating, and tourism opportunities, making Minnesota synonymous with water-based recreation. Minnesota's rivers are equally important. The Mississippi River, which begins its journey in northern Minnesota at Lake Itasca, flows southward through the United States, serving as a major transportation route, a source of hydroelectric power, and a lifeline for ecosystems and communities along its path. Other major rivers, such as the Minnesota, St. Croix, and Red River, support agriculture, industry, and recreation while shaping the state's landscapes through valleys, wetlands, and floodplains. The combination of rivers and lakes has fostered settlement, economic development, and cultural traditions for centuries. The state's geography extends beyond its lakes and rivers. Northern Minnesota is characterized by dense forests, rolling hills, and the rugged terrain of the Arrowhead region. Pine, spruce, and birch dominate these forests, creating habitats for deer, wolves, black bears, and countless bird species. The Boundary Waters Canoe Area wilderness, located in the northeastern part of the state, is a pristine region of interconnected lakes and rivers, providing a haven for wildlife and a sanctuary for outdoor enthusiasts. This wilderness area is also culturally significant, reflecting the history of indigenous peoples and early European explorers who navigated these waters. Southern and central Minnesota are dominated by fertile plains, rolling hills, and rich agricultural land. These areas support crops such as corn, soybeans, and wheat, as well as dairy and livestock farming. Rivers and streams provide essential irrigation, while glacial soils contribute to agricultural productivity. This contrast between the forested north and the agricultural south defines the state's physical and economic diversity, highlighting how geography influences livelihoods, settlement patterns, and community life. Minnesota's climate is continental, with cold winters and warm summers, influenced by its northern latitude and inland location. Winters are long and snowy, creating opportunities for ice fishing, snowmobiling, skiing, and other winter sports. Summers are warm and relatively short, perfect for boating, hiking, and exploring the state's lakes and forests. The seasonal extremes have shaped both the natural environment and the cultural practices of Minnesota's residents, from winter festivals to summer lake recreation. The state's history is closely tied to its geography. Indigenous peoples, including the Dakota and Ojibwe, thrived in Minnesota for thousands of years, adapting to the forests, rivers, and lakes. European explorers arrived in the 17th century, followed by fur traders and settlers in the 18th and 19th centuries. Minnesota became the 32nd state in 1858, and its waterways and natural resources played a critical role in its settlement, transportation, and economic growth. Logging, fur trading, and agriculture were early economic drivers, while later industries, including milling, mining, and manufacturing, benefited from the state's rivers and forests. Minnesota's urban centers reflect a balance of natural beauty, culture, and economic vitality. Minneapolis and St. Paul, known collectively as the Twin Cities, are cultural and economic hubs. Minneapolis, located on the Mississippi River, grew from its milling and trade history into a modern center of commerce, arts, and education. St. Paul, the state capital, combines historic architecture with government and cultural institutions. Both cities feature parks, lakes, and riverfronts that integrate nature into urban life, providing residents with recreational opportunities while maintaining a connection to the state's natural heritage. Cultural diversity is a hallmark of Minnesota. The state has large Scandinavian and German heritage communities, as well as growing Somali, Hmong, and Latino populations. These diverse communities contribute to the state's festivals, cuisine, arts, and social fabric, creating a vibrant cultural mosaic. Traditional celebrations, outdoor festivals, and artistic events often take place near lakes, parks, and historic landmarks, reflecting the interplay between environment and culture. Minnesota's economy today is multifaceted. Beyond agriculture and forestry, the state is home to major industries in technology, healthcare, finance, and manufacturing. Companies headquartered in Minnesota leverage the state's natural resources, skilled workforce, and infrastructure, contributing to both regional and national economic growth. Tourism, driven by the lakes, forests, and winter sports, also plays a key role, supporting local businesses and outdoor recreation industries. Environmental stewardship is central to Minnesota's identity. Wetlands, forests, and lakes are protected through state parks, conservation programs, and wilderness areas. Initiatives to maintain water quality, preserve wildlife habitats, and sustainably manage natural resources ensure that Minnesota's ecological treasures continue to thrive. Residents value outdoor recreation, clean water, and conservation, reinforcing a deep connection between human communities and the natural environment. In conclusion, Minnesota is a state defined by water, forests, and diverse landscapes. Its lakes and rivers shape the geography, culture, and economy, while its forests, plains, and cities reflect a balance between natural beauty and human development. From the Arrowhead Wilderness to the Twin Cities, from agricultural fields to icy winter lakes, Minnesota embodies the interplay of nature and civilization. The land of 10,000 lakes is not only a place of remarkable scenery but also a center of culture, economy, and ecological stewardship, making it a unique and essential part of the United States. Minnesota, often called the land of 10,000 lakes, is more than its stunning natural landscapes. Its economy, cultural diversity, and recreational opportunities make it a vital state in the United States, with influence extending beyond its borders. Understanding Minnesota requires exploring its industries, urban centers, tourism, and role in both regional and global contexts. Economically, Minnesota is highly diversified. Agriculture remains a cornerstone, with the fertile plains of southern and central Minnesota producing corn, soybeans, wheat, and dairy products. These agricultural outputs not only support local economies but also contribute to national and international food supply chains. Modern agriculture in Minnesota integrates technology and sustainable practices, ensuring productivity while protecting the environment. Industry and manufacturing have historically shaped Minnesota's economy. Cities such as Minneapolis and St. Paul grew around milling, lumber, and iron industries, taking advantage of the state's rivers and natural resources. Today, Minnesota is home to major companies in healthcare, finance, retail, and technology. Corporations like 3M, Target, and General Mills, headquartered in the Twin Cities, illustrate the state's ability to combine innovation, manufacturing, and commerce. The presence of research institutions and universities further drives technological advancement and entrepreneurship. Tourism is another vital component of Minnesota's economy. The state's lakes, rivers, and forests attract millions of visitors annually, from anglers seeking trophy fish to kayakers exploring pristine waterways. In winter, residents and tourists enjoy ice fishing, snowmobiling, skiing, and other snow-related recreation. Popular destinations such as the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, Voyageurs National Park, and Lake Minnetonka highlight Minnesota's natural beauty while supporting hospitality, recreation, and tourism services. Seasonal festivals and cultural events, including the Minnesota State Fair, celebrate both heritage and innovation, drawing crowds from across the nation. Minnesota's urban centers combine economic vitality with cultural richness. Minneapolis and St. Paul, collectively known as the Twin Cities, are hubs of commerce, arts, and education. Minneapolis offers a thriving business environment, world-class museums, theaters, and music venues, while St. Paul is known for its historic architecture, government institutions, and cultural events. Smaller cities such as Rochester, Duluth, and Bloomington also contribute to the state's economic and cultural diversity. These urban areas balance modern development with access to parks, lakes, and rivers, reflecting Minnesota's commitment to integrating nature into city life. Cultural diversity in Minnesota is a defining feature. The state has strong Scandinavian and German heritage, alongside growing communities of Hmong, Somali, Latino, and African American populations. This multiculturalism is reflected in the state's food, music, festivals, and community initiatives. Neighborhoods celebrate cultural heritage while fostering inclusivity, creating a vibrant social fabric that contributes to tourism, creative industries, and civic life. Minnesota's education and research institutions enhance its influence. Universities such as the University of Minnesota and Minnesota State University System produce skilled professionals, conduct cutting-edge research, and support innovation in technology, medicine, environmental science, and business. These institutions drive economic growth, foster entrepreneurship, and attract students and professionals from around the world. Environmental stewardship is central to Minnesota's identity and economy. The state's extensive lakes, rivers, and forests are carefully managed to maintain biodiversity, water quality, and recreational value. Conservation efforts, state parks, and wilderness protections balance economic development with environmental preservation, ensuring that Minnesota's natural resources remain sustainable for future generations. The focus on clean water, renewable energy, and responsible land use highlights the state's role as a leader in environmental management. Minnesota's connectivity and infrastructure support its regional and global significance. Highways, airports, and railways link urban centers, rural areas, and international markets. Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport provides national and global connectivity, while the Mississippi River continues to serve as an economic and transportation artery. These networks enable commerce, tourism, and cultural exchange, integrating Minnesota into both national and global economies. In conclusion, Minnesota is a state where natural beauty, economic strength, and cultural richness converge. Its lakes, rivers, forests, and plains provide resources and recreational opportunities, while its cities drive innovation, commerce, and cultural development. From agriculture and manufacturing to tourism and education, Minnesota combines tradition with modernity, preserving its heritage while embracing the future. Minnesota is more than the land of 10,000 lakes. It is a dynamic, globally connected state, where nature, culture, and human ingenuity intersect to create a region of economic, cultural, and ecological significance. Its story reflects resilience, diversity, and innovation, making it a vital part of the United States and an influential presence in the wider world. The focus on clean water, renewable energy, and responsible land use highlights the state's role as a leader in environmental management. Minnesota's connectivity and infrastructure support its regional and global significance. Highways, airports, and railways link urban centers, rural areas, and international markets. Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport provides national and global connectivity, while the Mississippi River continues to serve as an economic and transportation artery. These networks enable commerce, tourism, and cultural exchange, integrating Minnesota into both national and global economies. In conclusion, Minnesota is a state where natural beauty, economic strength, and cultural richness converge. Its lakes, rivers, forests, and plains provide resources and recreational opportunities, while its cities drive innovation, commerce, and cultural development. From agriculture and manufacturing to tourism and education, Minnesota combines tradition with modernity, preserving its heritage while embracing the future. Minnesota is more than the land of 10,000 lakes. It is a dynamic, globally connected state, where nature, culture, and human ingenuity intersect to create a region of economic, cultural, and ecological significance.